Hello guys, and welcome back to Strategic Command World War II, World at War with our Axis playthrough. In the last episode, we've moved over into May of 1942. We've done some stuff as Japan, but for the most part, this turn is mostly undone. We just took Egypt, so that's another goal. We're just down to one more big goal, and that's to make the Soviet Union surrender. However, we still have an entire war to fight in the meantime, so we gotta take our baby steps. We did take Chongqing as well, so the now former Chinese capital's ours. The Chinese have moved to Lanchao. I need to split my units here up, and I have a pretty good idea of how I plan to do that. First and foremost, the 3rd Army is going to step up the road. It's already done an attack, helping kill one of the 2 Chinese corps that were still here, out of supply that we killed in this previous turn. These 2 right here are also going to go north. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. I'm sending 3 more that are going to go up this road here, kind of stay unified, so that we have 8 that will be going after Lanchao. In terms of armies, I think that will be enough. We'll maybe keep the paratrooper here, but I don't really know that that's even going to be needed. But 8 seems like enough. 8 armies plus air support, that definitely seems good to me. That leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4 more armies here, which are going to work on taking Wanting and Kunming. Maybe not all of them. We might want to also send more down here, but thankfully we have the Thai corps here to help kind of deal with that. We also have just acquired a new one, the Hanoi Corps, and that's in addition to the Bangkok Corps that we already have. We're going to move that corps up as far as it can get for right now, taking place near the 14th Army, which is not at full strength, but it can't get that way. We don't really have enough HQs down here, though as I'm pushing around here, more and more of my armies are essentially freeing up. I have noticed that capacity. We're going to need some garrisons up here. Yes, we are. A couple of them, as it would seem. I have multiple. I can send this one over. I don't know that Japan is producing any more. No, it's not. I'm going to have to go out of my way and produce some more. I do see a way to min-max this one right here, though, is to put a garrison right here. And so by extension, what would work is just sending this one until it reaches here. This is not one that will spawn a partisan unit, however, so that shouldn't really be a big deal one way or another. It'd also go like right here, doesn't have to be perfect. Unfortunately, it's considered enemy territory, so I cannot just march directly into there as I would want to. But I can march somewhat. We could just step into the mountains for right now. Get close enough, and yeah. This one can also just march north once and take care of both of these. This was intended for these 2, so it's actually not as bad as it looks. Getting one up here to deal with both of these would be ideal. Moving one there right now, that would be the hard part. In fact, what I probably should have done is just move this one westward to take this one's place, and then just shifted everything forward, but we have enough armies and HQs and etc. to just not really have to worry about it right now. We know we want to get the North Chinese Front Army out of here, so we're going to do that. And we're going to move forward. Instead, the Takagi HQ is going to go sit on Chongqing. Move the Kimura HQ over to Kweichow. So that should extend our supply a little bit this way. But again, like now we also have the Yamashita HQ. What use does this have now? Like, the front's not that big. It's just a matter of, can they take care of all the units? Maybe they can't. Maybe we need more. Eventually, this front will close, and another HQ is going to free up. One of them is definitely going down south. We could definitely use another HQ down south. I still have this one sitting in Hiroshima, but I just haven't really found myself in a position where it made sense to pay the MPPs to transport that anyway. Let's take the 1st Kwantung Army and move it this way. We're going to just march the 34th this way into the hills. No big rush, we'll just have them all come up from this direction. There's not even enough room in that direction right now. Supply here will improve as supply in Chongqing improves. It's only at 4. Assuming it goes above 5, supply on this front should improve markedly. That's a word, right? Dramatically may make more sense. We're going to want to probably move the planes up at this point as well. Maybe they could temporarily deal with some of these problems here as well. I would like to get this one moving up, so I'm just going to shift out because this guy's going to reinforce next turn anyway. Some slight morale penalties won't really affect me very much. And then this is taken care of. This one's not taken care of. I could do that with a paratrooper if need be. temporarily, at the very least. Chengdu, like, we know we're gonna move this guy back down. He doesn't have any real reason to be up here. So actually, because of that, that puts him in the perfect position to take care of that for me for this turn. So yeah, let's just start moving him back down south. Leave the paratrooper up here for now. I see it was a this turn thing where we went ahead and claimed Yan'an, so the communist Chinese will fall. I am tempted to... We haven't... No, okay, we have used our... Yes, we've used all these, and this is how we managed to take Chongqing, I remember now. Okay, well, we're gonna want to move these up somewhere. Figuring out where. That's the fun part. They have 9 supply where they are next to Yichang. They're gonna want to get closer for sure. Figuring out where the kind of supply we're looking for exists will be interesting. We know this guy is definitely gonna move down this way at some point, but we also want to get this partisan, this garrison in position to deal with partisans. And the partisan locations here would make it so I'd want to put it right there. Let's move this northwest a touch. Could potentially be a risky move, but I don't know. We're going to move down southwest with the 2nd Kwantung Army, get it closer to the front line. It's all very narrow of a movement range here. It's not very good. Keeping planes out of the road here as much as possible is probably ideal. So let's see here. Tactical bombers can move up just south of Xi'an. The other ones have already kind of done everything. Medium bombers can move up just behind them. And then the fighters can all just kind of go in the rear, maybe? Or one of them can even just go right here and extend the fighter coverage out this way. Not that we expect to find any fighters, but yeah, this could work. This could work. Yeah, I think so. Alright, we'll put that one right there. And that deals with all partisans around here for right now. God, dealing with these partisans is becoming a massive headache. I have no idea what to do with this HQ. With these 2 armies, I have 1 strike remaining each, so I figure I'll fucking use it. Let's go try to wipe these engineers off the face of the map. 8 damage dealt, none taken. 2 damage dealt, none taken. Good, now one of these can move forward. Supply, I assume, will be good. Yep, let's move on in then. Taking their fortifications. By taking, I mean destroying, because that's a thing for some reason. We destroy fortifications faster than Germans in real life replace the Soviet rail lines on their way to Moscow and Stalingrad. Now, there's this annoying thing that's been raiding my line to Manchukuo this whole time. Let's try to do something about that with these medium bombers. They don't have any ASW capability, really. They're medium bombers. They have naval capability, but it's better than nothing. We've made them die from attack and dealt 1 damage. The die from attack is really enough. That means they're not going to be able to come out again and do anything anytime soon. My flotilla maritime bombers here don't have any real good targets they can reach, so I think I'm going to send it down to Saigon. We're not having a target over here, though I could potentially try to divert one of the fighters here to accompany a maritime bomber to try to hit British targets over by the Indian Ocean and etc, etc. But for now, I'm more concerned with defending these convoy routes, though a fighter may be valuable for that too. It's a little too late in the turn to do that, probably. Probably? Well, no. One of them could make their way down there. It wouldn't be a one-turn thing unless I operated. We definitely don't need 2 fighters up here because, well, we've already destroyed the enemy air force. It's kind of the biggest thing. So maybe I could send a fighter down there to accompany the maritime bomber, at least into this region, because thinking about it, this carrier may extend its range and escort coverage over where an enemy submarine might appear, so moving it like that might be smart. It would also clear some stuff out of the way. I'll just, for now, fly it down to Pakoi. I don't want to operate it, that costs money. I'm sending the maritime bomber down to Saigon for now. Don't know where we're going to end up, but this gives me pretty good coverage over all of these convoys, which are all very important to me. So, yeah, I'll gladly do that. I'll gladly take that. 1 fighter should be enough for all of these bombers, quite frankly. And I could still use some more maritime bombers, but there's just so many things that I could use some more of here, realistically. Let me deploy that new Thai Corps that I was mentioning, put that over by Bangkok, because it's also just going to go north and help defend Rangoon. Specifically Rangoon. We can't reach in time Mandalay and the oil field up here, so we're going to have to just say goodbye to that and just hold on to only Rangoon until we're done down here in Malaya and Singapore, which we've just gone into. Maybe I should move. Probably not. Supply is still good enough down here for now. It'll only be problematic once we get past Kota Baru. But by that point, this will be supplied. I could operate a second HQ down here. I know I was going to send one south anyway. We could send the one by Yichang. Everything else here is within reasonable range. There's also this one here at Tsingyuan, who's been helping cover things over here, but is probably a little less necessary at this point. We don't have any major fighting up here. We're never going to have major fighting up here. The AI is not going to push an offensive. There's no good infrastructure to transport troops over here. So yeah, this one, for example, could be operated, not right now, but next turn, down to Penang, and could focus on supporting this, while this one then turns north to allow us to start pushing and fighting in Rangoon proper. We'd have 2 HQs down here. That seems like a good plan to me. Just as I was hoping, Wainwright HQ is completely out of supply. We will now deal omega fuck tons of damage, so let's try dealing some of those omega fuck tons of damage, shall we? 5 damage dealt with the first attack, 1 taken, unfortunate. 4 damage dealt with the next attack, 1 oh my god. Really, truly unfortunate, because we weren't supposed to take like any damage at all. Now, he'll just run out of supply and die next turn, but realistically, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if I get full credit like national morale if he just kills himself. You know, I feel like I want to get the kill in to have the proper definitive resolution where I get national morale. I really don't know if that's a mechanic or not. I'll say fuck it and go for the glory. We'll just back this special forces out, move the one from Manila, the core, go ahead and attack, finish that off, national morale bonus, there you go. No more damage taken. Move the other special forces to properly take Corregidor, and we're good. Nothing sitting on Manila, but nothing has to sit on Manila. Something just has to sit next to Manila, which we're doing. So these 2 special forces are kind of cleared up. They're both a little injured, but that's fine, I guess. Doesn't really matter that much. We'll get everything placed back where it needs to be next turn once we have the availability. I think it's about time to start looking at taking all of these Japanese ships the fuck out of here. Let's set this to fighters. We don't need any bombers out when we're just roaming around. Now, where to bring this? There's not enough ports. I could rush it down to here at Nauru, or even over here. I want the whole fleet to kind of be next to each other before we start going westwards towards Truk and Japan proper. Dude, that feels like we're going so far out of the way, like we're turning rather than taking a direct path. But that's probably just what we're going to end up doing. We'll just spend a turn gathering up, and then we'll move northwest properly, because we don't own Midway yet. It's not ours yet, but we will soon. I'll make sure of it. So let's go ahead and just force move this down to Nauru. What's this? Axis raiders destroy phosphate loading facilities at Nauru Harbor. No idea what effect that would have. I wish this game communicated the impacts of your actions a bit better. I really wish they did. I know these things were going to move down as a bit of an escort, so let's send them into escortee locations. You go there. You go there. And you go there, where you guys will have supply. I know these were intended to receive their upgrades, so I will upgrade them. I wanted them to have some amount of ASW so that they could do some ASW on the way back, because that's a real threat that we're dealing with. Thankfully, maritime bombers are realistically cheap as dirt. 150 base compared to a lot of other things. That's really cheap. It's cheaper than a fucking sub. Holy crap, it's probably cheaper than a destroyer. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a maritime bomber with all the amenities. 173 MPPs after reductions. We're gonna purchase that. Get one building. We can build 2 more after that. This will take till November to finish. It's May. May, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, we'll see where we are by that point. Damn, this year is actually going by pretty quick already. I sure hope I can beat up the Soviets by the end of this year, but we'll see. We'll keep planning ahead just in case. Don't want to be caught unprepared. That's for sure. We're not under any particular time crunch with Japan as a strategy, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the next advanced subs researching. Could come in handy, potentially. We'll see. Our current ones could use an upgrade, but they just got down here, so I'm leaving them here for right now. This one has 10 supply, this one has 7. Why so fucking different? I can see I'm hurting the supply of this port. Other than that, though, I don't really know what I'm doing. Maybe it'll eventually hurt supply, lower MPPs? I don't know. I really don't know how this works. No matter how much I play, I don't know how anything works. I'll leave these paratroopers on Chengdu just for right now, just as a defensive fixture in case any Chinese try to come down this road. We don't want them to do that, so that is how we'll stop them. Eventually, I'll probably move this fighter up a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. It's not today's problem. Today's problem lies elsewhere. We're gonna get some elite reinforcements for the 17th Korean Army, get it ready for its further push back west when it comes to that. I will send this garrison into probably the mountain range a little bit. Not because I want to take it or anything, I'm just trying to get it out of the road so the other armies will be able to pass through here in a moment, because that's something we're gonna want. Everything else here has taken some kind of action, so there's nothing else really that it could do. We could partially reinforce this special forces, but not fully, unfortunately, and then nothing else is really capable of anything even remotely like that. Therefore, what I will do is I'm going to operate one of these garrisons off the border with the Soviets, because we really don't need it there, and I'm going to send it towards, well, just down here, I guess, next to Changsha. Right now everything is taken care of, but we will need 1 or 2 more here. I'm not sure of the exact number yet, but that takes care of that. Oh yeah, we are also going to need one next to Yichang, so we're going to operate the one over at Yankee, because that's another one that we really don't need over there. Free that garrison up, move down there. At this point, you know, the Soviets aren't going to be offensive. All we need over by the Soviets would be any offensive force. But we have other things to deal with, such as China, such as the Pacific, such as Burma, and then into India. We got a lot of stuff to conquer. I do think that's everything I'm going to do as Japan, so I'm going to look at Italy now. Maybe I'll find something I missed in the next episode. But we're going to finally, it seems, finish off the Sudan Defense Force Corps. All of our Italians can get upgraded infantry weapons. That's going to be fun. We finally finished off the Sudan Defense Force Corps. Holy Jesus, Mother of God. Okay, and we have a whole new problem arising behind us. Forget about a northward march onto Sudan, which the capital is probably defended by something. We have Indians. Indians have arrived in Africa. Paratroopers and an Indian army. So not everything's over here. Don't know when they did this, but I guess it was some kind of script, because usually, well, I mean, the AI is usually not that smart to just do stuff like that all by themselves. So, how should we do this? Supply in this region is really, really meh. I'm going to move the HQ onto Malakau, give it some sort of base to spread supply from next turn. Apparently it won't be that great, but it's not spreading too great no matter what. Anyway, we do need to get back over here. We do need to stop these guys, which are already a little injured. So let's start marching these corps back east. Thankfully, I at least have some infantry weapons on these guys, but the Brits are here, the Indians, have infantry weapons level 2. 0 supply on this, though. They didn't bring an HQ, so that's actually really good. Damn, how did the Indians get such advanced weaponry? They must have just been researching the offensive tech and the offensive tech only. Though I believe there is some amount of AI cheating when it comes to getting certain techs by a certain point. I don't know the exact values, I just know that that is a thing. As we know, basically everything we do with Italy over here right now is optional, so let's go ahead and wipe out the British Desert Air Force fighters. 248 national morale bonus, that's nice. The Brits are down to 73%. We can now move the 10th Italian Army, yeah, I guess, over onto the Suez town, fully surrounding Alexandria at this point. Does still have access to ports, so it will stay in supply, which is annoying, but it is what it is. My army on Cairo can upgrade its infantry weapons. That sounds pretty important to me. The army right next to it can do the same thing. It's probably the biggest way I can help them right now. This one facing down Alexandria can't do quite as much. I'm going to reinforce the medium bombers back up to full. Reinforce these fighters back up to full. I know I said that was something I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it. We know we saw something moving around over here, so there is more stuff down there. This garrison was intended to be heading east. Don't really know where it's going to get to right now. This desert storm's getting in my way, so we're just going to move east one step for right now. Upgrade this corps, because this is kind of the rear guard. This one could also technically participate in being a rear guard. We're down to 24 MPPs already though, so it's a matter of prioritizing what we use these points on. For now, I'm gonna move this tank just up next to Alexandria just to be there as something to intimidate the enemy. I don't know. We'll attempt an attack. 2 damage dealt, none taken. Very good result for us. And that's most of what we're going to do with Italy's land forces. I guess I'll go ahead and upgrade this corps just for the heck of it. It is kind of on a front line. We don't know what the AI is going to do with these troops, but if they do march out, we'll have 2 corps upgraded and ready to do something about them. 9 MPPs remaining, and we have a fun situation over here. We have a British battleship just chilling. So let's go and see if we can say hello to it. We can. The Italian sub got here completely without issue. So let's take this sub, this German sub, send it down there. Oh, there's another battleship. The Prince of Wales battleship is all the way up here. I have the U-377 available as well. I'm just going to take that down there, or not, because now we've run into a heavy cruiser. Oh my god, dude. Let's go ahead and attack the heavy cruiser. That has much less defenses against me. 3 damage dealt, none taken. Can I? Yeah, I can repeat this. 3 damage dealt, none taken, and it runs over here. The battleships can do some damage to me with where we ran into them, so I'm gonna prioritize just the things I can deal damage to and potentially sink. Nothing else I have is really in range except for the U-30 sub here. It was set to get some elite reinforcements, but I guess this is probably more reasonable. We'll move up and we'll sink the Norfolk heavy cruiser, say goodbye to a couple hundred British MPPs, and leave us... yeah, lowering their morale by another 1%. I can't move any closer, unfortunately, so can't get them to raid. So I'll just back up a touch and just kind of be here as a little bit of a trap. I do not want to send my heavy cruisers against upgraded battleships, even if they are elite reinforcements up. If that makes any sense. I would like to take care of some destroyers, but again, it's pretty dangerous seeming to want to try to do that. So I might just send them where they could do some raiding again. So like down here, but we might run into the enemy if we do that. So maybe just without the rush, but hugging the African coast here, because we don't want to be spotted while we do this. Take this off of silent and then head north as far as we can get with this Italian sub so that we can have another potential raider. We have the U-371, which is going to go over into port where it can get its upgrades and everything. There's still the matter of the messy HQ. We don't have enough MPPs to really operate it. So I guess for now, we'll just start running it. It's free. It's free to run it. So I guess, shit, let's do it, right? Only 9 MPPs as them. That pretty much amounts to a single upgrade of like a garrison. Maybe. I say maybe. No, probably not even. No, it's not even enough to upgrade a garrison yet, because that's probably like 10 MPPs, so Italy is pretty much spent. We didn't even get them up to full research. Infantry weapons came in, it was just like, okay, now we have to upgrade all this, but it's maxed out now, so that's good. Let's look down hither against these Indians that have been holding on to Kuwait this entire time. I'm half tempted to reinforce this, and I'm also half tempted to come down here and do this, like, triple-pronged attack. Let's see how the first attack goes. Let's try with the armies. 4 damage dealt. Oh, my. And we wiped it out. Okay, shit. Well, that works out very well for me, then. I will cap it with... I guess, does it matter? It's no partisan unit. Oh, besides, yeah, it joined me. This is... this country. It joined me. It's effectively mine. I'll move the core. Yeah, I'll move the core here. Once Jerusalem's dealt with, these Turks will pretty much be free. They're already kind of free. I could leave Jerusalem to just Italy. Let Italy deal with that. And then just have the Turks shift north already to where they could be of much better use. Let's see. So... this HQ doesn't need to be particularly, like, exactly here right now. We still don't have access to this fucking path here, and that is, like, a huge problem. I don't feel like invading a sovereign country to move these things any faster. So, let me move this garrison off for now. We're gonna take the Turkish HQ, put that back on Baghdad, Move this army to this town. Move this army here a little bit. The corps on Amman's gonna stay there as a defensive fixture. We will reinforce the Turkish fighters back up to max. The 5th Corps can run up to Mosul, or just force march past it, realistically. Because we can do that now. Yeah, we could afford to do that. There's no big need to rush, because the Turks kind of have to reinforce, get their bearings, and then start moving. But it doesn't hurt me to rush, because it's not like we're going to end up on a front line after force marching. So, yeah, I'll just force march that north for now, get that further away. I'm just trying to leave some supply over here, which is why the HQ's staying. Well, actually, it can't force run anyway. It needs to reach here in a standard manner before it can go any further. So, it'll take a moment to shift them. Who knows? Maybe we'll make some big progress by that point. I'm really not sure. And you continue down here by Sevastopol, trying to get rid of the enemy entrenchment. So let's attack. Hey, we dealt 1 damage. Nice. We took 1 damage. Not nice. Let's try with the next army. Dealt no damage. Entrenchment of them is down a little bit more. Readiness and morale also shrinking. Should I swap in the tank? That doesn't seem very good for attacking a fortress. So probably not. Probably not. So I'll just kind of leave these things here. I'll reinforce as need be. The Romanians could move forward, the other ones that aren't these 2 armies, because this whole siege can basically be done with 2 armies. Just having the HQ nearby would be smart. So let's move this tank to Rostov. Let's send this corps up by Rostov. Let's send the fighters... Yeah, let's send the fighters over by Taganrog. And then let's move the HQ up to Melitopol. So it can support these and anything over here. I don't really know that they'll be needed. But for now, Rostov's taken care of in terms of garrisons at least. So that much is good. We do have the enemy army here, which has fully recovered all of its losses, unfortunately. But we could probably whittle away at it again. Let's try with the Belgrade Corps first. 3 damage dealt, a little bit more than we were expecting. That's always good. Dravska Corps with its elite reinforcements. Let's try that. 3 damage dealt. Let's try the first army. And voila, we have wiped out the enemy red army there. These 2 are going to need some recovery time, surely. Probably. We'll move the Yugoslavian HQ forward. The only Yugoslavian HQ, as a reminder. And the Yugoslavs are going to get ready to march up this way. Still not sure what to do over here. I want to get this somewhere it'll have some more supply. It could probably just direct itself over this way at some point. We need to figure out what's there. Let's move the Dravska Corps forward somewhere that it could spot for us. And there's an enemy corps. Of course there is. We'll have a nice capability to surround it. Hey, we're near Stalingrad. Again, I'll want these 2 to be able to reinforce. So they're going to move forward, but they're going to stay real close to the HQ. Supply up here should be pretty decent. We'll move this one just right here. This one will move all the way up to create a front. They got cavalry here. We'll move this one up hither. And supply in this desert will definitely not be nice. But I could force march it just all the way over here to get supply and then reinforce is what I could do. Yeah, so I think I'll do that. Let's just force march. Will this have enough? No. No, it won't. This will. Nothing else will. Okay. We could move something else. Yeah, so move that there. And then we'll move that over here. There you go. So now all these will be able to recover next turn. We'll take the Bosanska Corps at Grozny, move that up to Astrakhan with a force march, just so we have something on this border that looks like it can take care of itself. And there you go. That's all we have time for this episode. We still have most of the German turn remaining, but pretty much only the German turn. And then we'll be out of May, or at the end of May, or something, I don't know. But I hope you guys are enjoying how this series is going. For now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.